Jagmeet Singh, hi, William Diaz.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Knowing that, can I ask you a quick question?
Go for it.
Can you tell me one country where socialism has worked?
All right, we gotta keep walking, man. We're,
One
almost
country,
late
just
already.
one. Soviet Union, maybe?
No, it's worked in Scandinavian countries really well.
It's not
Lots of democratic
socialism.
You don't.
Hi, have a good day, sir.
Hey everyone, William Diaz here with Rebel News. What you just saw right here was the clip of the leader of Canada's most socialist party, the New Democratic Party, state one of the biggest socialist lies of today's generation. And Jagmeet, you are totally wrong. Let's fact check your fake news together, shall we? Scandinavia is not socialist, and here's why. And take notes, Jagmeet. You seriously need it. According to good old Merriam-Webster dictionary, socialism can be defined as any of various economic and political theories advocating collective or governmental ownership and administration of the means of production and distribution of goods. It is a system of society or group of living in which there is no private property. Denmark is not a socialist country, Finland is not a socialist country, Sweden is not a socialist country, and Norway is not a socialist country. You're not even social democracies, as Bernie Sanders likes to put it so much. And here are the reasons why. Scandinavian countries consistently rank above the United States in terms of countries with the most economic freedom. The low level of wage inequality that the annoying Marxists love to brag about happened before socialist policies were implemented by the far-left politicians. There is private property and wealth is not owned by the government, which alone should tell you that these countries are not socialist. The oil and gas, the private oil and gas industry was the only reason why among all Scandinavian countries in 2019, about only Finland, according to the World Bank, had a better GDP than the United States. 1970s, 1980s, the Swedish economy was at its worst, and they had a socialist economy. It was so bad that even hardcore socialists complained about paying too much taxes.
Astrid Lindgren, who wrote the very popular children's books, Pippi Longstocking, for instance, she was a social democrat, but she had made a lot of money from her books. She found that she paid 102% in taxes.
She wrote this angry essay about a witch who was quite mean and vicious, but not at all as vicious as the Swedish tax authorities.
In 2004, Sweden privatized its pension system. Even the pension system in Sweden is privatized. Oh, and by the way, government does not set any minimum wage. That's right, Jagmeet. It's usually negotiated by the employers and the employee. There's no minimum wage. Also, you should know that how much Democrats and the left hate school vouchers. Well, they have school vouchers in Scandinavia. One thing also worth pointing out, and this will be surprising to leftists of the West, is that low-income earners in Sweden pay a lot more taxes than low-income earners in America.
Low-income earners in Sweden pay a lot more than low-income earners in America. So despite the fact that Sweden looks like sort of a socialist country which taxes the rich exorbitantly high, the truth is the opposite.
Sweden also has a very high value-added tax. It's much higher than any sales tax in the United States. So those are taxes that are really substantially borne by the working classes and poor people in Sweden.
Extremely difficult to immigrate to Scandinavia, especially when you're not from the European Union. According to the Forbes magazine, you'll need to excel in your field to obtain a work permit and master the local language to stay long-term. It is painfully difficult to immigrate to Scandinavian countries as an American citizen. You'll have to show proof of high income, and being a native English speaker is not much of an advantage at all. So Jagmeet, no, Scandinavian countries are not socialist countries. So my question to you again is, can someone name one country where socialism has worked? The answer is easy. No, it hasn't. Socialism is atrocious, terrible, and destructive. If you want to see some examples, well, here are a few countries that are actually socialist: the USSR, China under CCP, Venezuela, and Cuba. Thank you for watching. Make sure to share this video with your friends to build better arguments when that one socialist person comes to you and claims that Sweden is a socialist paradise, because it isn't at all. This is William Diaz with Rebel News.
So we all know that summer means protest. There are so many protests happening here in the capital of the country, in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada, in the summer. If you want to make sure to never miss any of my reports, make sure to head on to ottawareports.com, and you can, if you're able to, chip in a buck or two to encourage me.